what we think about group chat combos, right? And y'all know what we think about group chat combos, man. Go like, go comment, go subscribe, go add it on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and
YouTube.
YouTube to like, comment, subscribe.
Equal. Equal.
New group chat convos episode. We're here with Kobe.
Gang.
Guess.
Sir.
Been trying to get him on here for a while. Before we get into anything, shout out Stony Mountain. Y'all see it in the back. Shout out Perception Apparel, Perception Shots. Eat with Zoe. He's doing his thing. We were just talking about that. But yeah, Kobe's here. We're trying to get you on for a minute now.
Yeah, it was really Mil's fault. Like I had COVID. He didn't read the message. I sent him a positive test and everything. He just disregarded everything.
Hey,
I swear to God.
Hey, I low-key felt bad too because he sent me. I was like, what's good? How you doing? Everything. All he said was, I'm sick. Sent a picture of COVID.
Didn't reply.
I didn't reply at all.
Nothing.
I replied to like the next week, and I was like, my fault, man. I thought I replied.
No, but I think he said it the group like right after that, like the group chat we have. He's like, Kobe's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, man. I thought I replied, or it was one of those situations where I was like, damn, he's sick. Send it to the group chat just to give them an update, and then I was gonna reply, but I don't know what I was doing.
He really didn't give no fucks.
He don't fuck with nobody.
I told you, he don't fuck with me at all. He don't fuck with me.
He doesn't. But one thing we got to ask every single guest on here from here on out is if I give you $10 million cash right now in your hand.
Yeah.
But the only catch to it is a snail is chasing you the rest of your life. It knows your location at all times, and its only purpose is to find you. If it touches you, you die instantly. A horrible death. Is the snail ever going to catch you?
No.
Thank you. A snail is not fucking with me.
Let me tell you why. As soon as I hop on a plane and go to like California,
it's wraps.
It's wraps.
What about when you come back though?
Why would I come back? I know the snail's here.
So how long you gonna stay in Cali?
How long? I would look up how fast can a snail travel.
Hold on, time out. You would have $10 million. You can hire a whole fucking security detail and just pay them to locate this snail at all times 24/7.
Hey, you know how small a snail is, nigga? That shit get under the crack of your door. You wouldn't even know.
I'm going to enjoy that 10 mil, though. We going to die eventually. But the snail not catching me. The snail's not catching me.
Snail is not fucking with me.
I still think, I don't know, man. That's hard.
Because say you hire a team watching that snail. How's the snail going to get you?
You can rig your house like laser beams everywhere.
I mean, it's just more that goes into it.
No, I think you're thinking of it too hard. Like, it's just a snail.
But the snail is chasing you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Knows your location at all times.
What you going to be doing 10 years from now after you move to Cali? You ain't going to be thinking about that snail.
Tim, I know that snail.
Yes, you will.
You're not going to be thinking about that snail 10 years from now.
I'm thinking about that snail for the rest of my life.
Every day.
The psychological, like, the amount of the things it do to your head would not be healthy for you.
What is that doing to your head? It's making you scared to death. Everybody's already scared to death.
But not like that. Imagine if you got in your car and you gotta be thinking about, damn, I hope a snail ain't in here.
Bruh, imagine the life you would be living if you had $10 million in cash right now. Exactly. Like you said, hop on a jet to LA, figure out ways to make more money. By then, you could probably buy your own private jet to just hop on and fly at any time, anywhere. Like, bro, a snail would not focus.
Meanwhile, the snail's still in Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, though. I don't believe that because you got to think about what type of snail it is. It's not just no regular.
This isn't SpongeBob.
Yeah. Gary.
Yeah, exactly. Gary Slow. It might be Turbo, nigga. Yeah.
No.
Turbo.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Anyways, I don't even want to get into too deep with that. This is what we're gonna start.
I'm glad
doing.
you're on the right side.
I'm about my money.
Listen,
You know what I mean? I'm about my money.
listen.
No cap.
Every podcast, we're gonna start off with just asking that question. We're gonna start taking tallies, just to see just to
You're
see.
losing.
Anyways, I mean, I don't even know. We're gonna have to go back and watch all the episodes to get to see where we're at,
You definitely will.
because it's definitely like 3-3 right now, maybe 2-3.
I just don't see how you could say no.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that I would take the money, but at the same time,
wouldn't.
like you said, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. I know you wouldn't.
I mean, hey, because at the same time, it's a lot that go into it.
No.
Feel me? No.
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 I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot. It's my thought process is different than y'all's, I guess. I just think about too many other situations that would happen.
Some people not even gonna see 10 mil in their whole life.
Most people. Not
Yeah,
most.
almost everybody's not gonna see 10. Not even barely $1 million.
So
All you gotta do is avoid a snail.
okay, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what type of snail it is. What if the snail? Okay, if you getting 10 million, it can't just be no regular ass snail. That's what I'm saying. Like
What?
it has
Snails
to be,
aren't fast.
That's
Though.
what I'm saying.
Like
There's
in
no-
general, no snail is like a cheetah.
None.
There's not like
didn't say
that one type of snail that's a cheetah or something.
I mean, I didn't say that. I mean, okay, if we want to be real, I feel like it's a clear cut choice, anyways, to take the 10 mil.
But you're not thinking like that.
Because I feel like there has to be more that goes into it. You're not gonna get $10 million just to stay away from a snail.
Is that not the question?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the question, but I don't know. My thought process is different.
You thinking you gotta sell your soul or something?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, but Kobe, I'll let you say some stuff about yourself, some things you got going on.
Yeah, man.
Anything?
I'd say I'm in the same predicament as like a lot of early 20-year-olds that just graduated college. And like speaking on the
Props
topic,
to that.
speaking of like, appreciate that. Speaking on the topic of college, like I'm not gonna sit here and say it's for everybody. Like you don't need it. I don't regret it, but do I think I could have been just as successful without it? 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like I'm in the same predicament as people without degrees. You know what I'm saying? Like still working a regular ass job, and I'm not knocking college either, because I feel like some of the degrees, like say you're in medical or something like that, that's definitely something you got to go to school for.
Yeah.
But I'd say I'm in the predicament of still like job searching, trying to find who I am really in this world that's going on right now. And I think it's definitely hard for our generation because we had to go through like COVID, stuff like that. So it made it like a lot harder. We didn't get those last, like for me, I didn't get those last 2 years on campus. I was cooped up in my parents' crib doing homework in my room. So I think that really took a toll on me. But other than that, I'm kind of happy because like it allowed me to like doing school online allowed me to have more time in a day to do stuff like, you know, go out, resell. Like that's a big part of what I am is was like reselling, getting introduced to like higher market clothes and stuff like that, shoes, and being able to keep up with like that type of market.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really who I am right now.
Word. So would you say, I have a question for you. Would you obviously you say you don't regret it or anything, but would you say in a sense it was almost like a waste of time?
Yes and no, because I feel like I wasted my time in my degree because I don't really want to use it. I don't want to go into law enforcement, nothing like that. But
What's your would you graduate?
crime analytics.
Crime analytics.
But I don't regret it because being at UNC Charlotte, it allowed me to make some of the connections that allowed me to be in the streetwear community.
Yeah.
In a sense, like it gave me the opportunity to meet people that allowed me to be able to model for like Ama Meniere and stuff like that. Like meet people like Frankie and like the owners of like Good Times. Like how I even got introduced to Good Times was I minored in film. So I had to make a video project, and I went out to like a sneaker convention type beat, and I met the owner, and he came up to me. He was like, "Yo, where'd you get your pants?" And I'm just recording. He's like, I tell him where I get my pants, and I asked him, I was like, "Yo, like you're the owner, like is there any possible way I could do an interview for you?"
Yeah.
And then a year, like maybe a couple months later, he was like, "You want to come work for me?"
Word.
Word.
So I'd say it has its ups and downs, like of school. Like it allowed me to make those connections, but at the same time, yeah, it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so pretty much you just made the best out of it, and you took advantage of any opportunities that
definitely.
came your way. And I mean, you got those opportunities by going to school, going to UNCC, but at the same time, like, you're wasting time in class, you're wasting time getting this degree for crime analytics. But it's like,
I didn't even want to do that shit.
yeah, but at the end of the day, having that degree really, it does benefit you. You know, it's not like having that degree, especially having it on your resume and having it in your background, somebody can look at it and be like, oh, well, he has a degree in crime analytics, so I wouldn't want to hire this person. They're not going to look at it and take something negative from it.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt to have it.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, and it sounds like, I mean, I figured it out. I know you figured it out. It's like, and it's a cliche statement, but until you've like actually like, not saying you weren't worthy of it or anything, but like just moved in certain ways just by knowing people. It's really about who you know, not even
100%.
what you know.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And that, like, even for this podcast, like, we put out podcasts every week, and I say it's pretty good conversations, content, but it's like, until it's really like in just a podcast wave, I feel like it's more about the guests you bring on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And like I said, who you know, because unless you're like the Nelk Boys, no one's really going to like turn on your podcast for you. It's always like, because that's how I look at it. Like, I look at like 21 Savage podcast, and I'm only watching that because 21 Savage is on there.
Yeah.
Or a rapper, or just someone I want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about the name that somebody has that brings in, the attention, or they bring their fan base, things like that. And I think for us, for kind of how we are, especially with being so small time, is more about like just who we know that we even bring on here that reaches out to different audiences and reaches out to a different group of people,
Definitely.
That's kind of why we do look to bring, on certain people who, I won't say that we only look to bring on people who like have businesses or have have like a company or something, like not straight entrepreneurs, but more just people from all different types of like groups and cultures, that we do know, like Kobe, I'd say you're probably the first person on here who is like really into fashion, and not just into like, oh, I want to wear, I want to have expensive clothes. Like, you're into fashion and you're into it, and like, would you say you have a passion for it?
100%. Like, I definitely, like, I get people say they're into clothes, what I'm saying? Like, they keep up with like, the streetwear, like the resale game, like popular brands, popular clothes.
Yeah.
But I really do keep up with that as well, but as well as like runway fashion, like the shit that people think is like outrageous.
Yeah.
Like shit that is obviously people are not wearing. I like to keep up with too. Like, I recently, like, Fashion Week was just in Paris, and I was definitely like staying in tune of like what was dropping, what was coming out. Like, it's some outrageous shit like that you see out there.
But you see, one thing that I say that a lot of people don't really like, they don't really understand about the runway fashion is like, somebody will walk out onto the runway and be wearing some crazy ass shit, but everything they have on can be sold all individually.
Yeah.
Most times it'll all be individual pieces. And that's where like you see certain people, like you'll see somebody, let's say somebody like Uzi, right? Sometimes he might be wearing some crazy shit.
Uzi be wearing some crazy shit.
Yeah, and it's like, if you look at the runway fashion, sometimes like there's been sometimes I've seen him wearing something, and then I'll go and I'll be like, oh, I see somebody on a runway wearing that.
Yeah.
And it's only the jacket though. Somebody could be on a runway wearing a fire jacket that Uzi was seen wearing, but then have some crazy ass pants on or have some crazy shoes on. You're like, that shit is trash. But then once you really mismatch it, you really, if you like stuff like that, you'll be able to, put it on and, and make that shit look fire.
Facts.
But it's just like you'll see somebody walking down a runway, especially how the runway models are. All the runway models, it's all a certain aesthetic.
Yeah, they all different.
You're gonna have the real black skinny motherfuckers. You're gonna have the real white pale motherfuckers.
Yep.
You're gonna have the long hair,
the long hair, shaved head.
Yeah, shaved head, and so it's like that whole thing. But at the same time, for people in fashion, everybody at those fashion shows, like, they all like that shit.
Yeah, I definitely say it's one of those things like I'm trying to appreciate, because it's like the runway fashion is something like it's not gonna apply to people in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
appreciate something like that. So that's why I'm trying to like get in that mindset of like appreciating something different. Like, it's more of an art over like in places
Yeah.
like Japan or like Europe versus like here. Like,
Yeah.
if you see that shit, like if you saw some of the things that people wear in Japan here, you'd be like, what the fuck he got on?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, even for my knowledge and like, you know, having the understanding of like the fashion or runway shit, like if I did go out to Charlotte and I was downtown, I seen somebody wearing some shit like that, I definitely would say, what the fuck does he have on?
Exactly.
You know, like
Yeah.
I definitely would say that, but at the same time, like, you know, you might say, what the fuck does he have on? And his whole fit could cost 4 bands,
Yeah.
5
Literally.
bands, you know? So it's like, it's just, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's kind of not. It's just like, it's a lot more deep than just Bape and Supreme,
Yeah.
and, you know, like, and those brands, even if you get up into like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, like, you know, I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But
And that's another thing, like, I've gotten past the whole like Bape Supreme thing, but I don't knock people that wear it. Like, I don't think it's corny, or you
Yeah.
know how some people now they'll be like, you know, that shit's corny. Like, why are you still wearing it?
yeah,
Like, I still appreciate people that still fuck with those brands. Like, those are like OG brands. Those are like what made streetwear really go crazy. So
yeah. And, you know, it's, and I think one thing, especially like from, you know, noticing what you wear, like you will wear, you know, I'll notice some stuff that you wear, especially if you have on like some Capital,
Yeah.
or like, you know, if you have something on that I see you're wearing, I notice it and I'm like, shit, I know, you know, I'm noticing, I know what that is. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like especially somebody like you could just, you know, just throw some shit on, or you could just find some shit that it might not be very expensive clothing, but you know how you can make it into a style that,
Right.
you know, you want to wear. You know, like some people will solely be stuck on, you know, Bape, Supreme, especially like people who just like want to wear expensive clothing.
Facts.
You know, it's like, yeah, okay, you could have on a Bape shirt, right? You could have on some Eric Emanuel shorts, right? And you could have on some Dunks. And like, that's a smooth little fit, you know? But then you have some people who look at that and be like, oh, this nigga's only wearing the known
Yep.
mainstream brand clothing. Like, he don't got nothing on. But it's like, that don't really matter. You know?
At that point, it really, that's why it's really come to that point where it really doesn't matter what you have on. It matters how you put it together. That's all.
Now there is certain clothing that I will, you know, that they do get like an exception to, like, why do you have that shit on? I'm not gonna lie. Or like, you could just tell, like, I also think it's about who's wearing it too.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
It's about who's wearing it, but like, I don't know. There's just certain clothing, like, okay, I'll say V-Lone, right? I fuck with V-Lone. You know, I think that V-Lone is still dope, but at the same time, it's the way that they started rolling out all of their clothes and their drops.
Yeah.
That's just like, they started doing the collabs with the rappers and everything like that, and it got to a point where it's like, every time a mainstream rapper drop an album, it's their merch is V-Lone.
Yeah, they definitely oversaturated the market with that.
Yeah, but you know, like Supreme can't be oversaturated because Supreme has been a known brand since the 90s, late 90s, you know? So it's like, even though it got to the point where it became real hype beats and everybody knew what it was, I mean, that doesn't mean that Supreme is like, that doesn't really take anything away from the brand, you know? 'Cause
Facts.
Supreme has never even, if you really know about clothes, Supreme has never really been that brand where it's like, oh, he has a Supreme shirt on. Now there's some shirts where, you know, it costs a lot, resell is crazy, but on their Thursday drops, they've always had tees that were $40. You know, it's never been like something crazy. It's just, if you know, you know.
Yeah, unless they do like a collab or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything is like reasonably priced.
It's just, it sells out, then it gets resold. And, you know,
Yeah.
it got to the point, especially back in them high school days, man. Those high school days, literally be in class, it'd be Thursday morning, right before 10 o'clock. You get on there, and if it's a big drop, it's going to be a miss. You know, if you just wanted to get some clothes and it wasn't a big drop, you'd definitely be able to get some shit. But you get a $40 tee. Back then, those $40 tees were only reselling for 70 max.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even no point in reselling it.
And I
Hell
think
yeah.
another thing, like with the whole like resale game and why it's getting I don't want to say outplay. I mean, like, it's a lot of resale stores here.
Yeah.
You know, like that's all you see now. So I think it's kind of hard to be different. And even like that, you could speak that for like a lot of topics, like even like a podcast. You know, there's so many podcasts. Like it's hard to stand out. And it's kind of like a resale store. Like there's like 6, 7 just in the city of Charlotte. So it's kind of hard to like stand out, I feel like. And that's something with a podcast too.
Yeah. It's I think anything if you're gonna call it a business, if you're gonna call it, you know, if you're trying to make money off it, anything, like there's gonna be multiple other people who are doing the same thing as you. You know, there's a bunch of people doing podcasts. There's a bunch of people who want to open stores, or even to the point where they just have pages on Instagram that they're reselling their clothes and shoes off of, and just make a page, don't even have a store, selling everything out of their crib. So it's just what, you know, is how you stand out, and is how you know, is what you do for the culture and the community, you know, especially like with the resale stores in Charlotte. Like if you're not really bringing anything to really like make yourself stand out to the community and stand out to the people in Charlotte, like you're going to be just another store. Yeah. You know, that's all it is.
And I guess that really brings me to my question, like for y'all is, what is going to make y'all's podcast stand out?
That's a very good question. That's definitely a good question. I think one of the,
go ahead and answer.
One of the ways that we try to make ourselves stand out, I mean, is not only by having just like free flowing conversations, but also trying to kind of like drop gems and kind of like put people on game, and, you know, and also be ourselves. You know, like we don't really try to come on here and act like people we're not. We don't, you know, right before we started this podcast, we're literally doing the same thing we're doing right now before we started, you know? So we try to be real genuine, be real raw, you know. We don't try to like put on no facade. And yeah, I mean, I think that we're always trying to figure out new ways that's gonna make us stand out, and new ways that's gonna make us, you know, get better. So I think, like, you know, that's honestly still a work in progress, you know? Like we've been doing this for a good minute, and we're still not at the point that we want to be at.
But we're way beyond where we started.
Yeah, and we're way better than when we first started, you know? So we just continue to grow, and I don't think we'll ever get to a point where we're like, this is exactly where we're going to be, because we're going to continue to just try to get better from that.
Right.
Want to have it the best in the world. Keep it a brick, straight like that, literally.
Yeah,
like I want to be on Spotify top 10 podcast type shit. Like, and like to answer your question, stand out. I think honestly, it's like we try to stay natural. We do stay true to ourselves. We don't try, we do. But it's like I feel like we're already just stand out in a sense, because it's like you're from Gastonia, right?
Yeah, like Mount Holly, Belmont.
Yeah,
it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically.
But it's like no one around here is doing that, at least.
Yeah, that is facts though. Nobody's really doing a podcast.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind except for Carlos and them. But
yeah, which is like that's
the brother podcast.
Yeah,
so it's like
and that's a whole nother demographic. You know, that's kind of like that's kind of. I mean, they're
but I genuinely feel like no one, like even really like in the Charlotte area, has a podcast popping. You know, so it's like I feel like if we get that wave going in North Carolina and just ride that, it's like everything else will take care of itself. And I'm a firm believer in just like you just put in the work, you stay consistent with it. It's like to me it's just logical. It's like it's just gonna keep getting better. And naturally, if you believe in like energy and good energy and positive and all that shit, you put in the work, everything that's just gonna come back in return. It's like we really don't even like pay attention to like views. Obviously we do, like we watch how many views get, likes and everything, but it's like, you know, you keep putting stuff out, you keep getting better. That stuff is just gonna come naturally. So it's only a matter of time when shit starts falling in place and aligning. Yeah. And that's all we try to do, is make every podcast better than the last one. Right. We just keep doing that over and over.
Yeah, and we try to focus on having guests, and we try to focus on bringing people in, but we also will do a podcast with just the main 4 people in the group, just to do one, with the gang, so we kind of like, we're not, like I said, we're not really trying to force anything. We're not trying to, we're just working, we're just, making sure we're putting out content, putting out good content. We might have some episodes where we get into real deep like conspiracies, or we might have episodes where we talk about self-improvement a lot, or we might have episode where we're literally just fucking around and joking, and shit. So it's like, we're still working. We're still trying to figure out, how we really wanted to come along, but at the same time, like, we have our goals set. We know what we want to do. We know what we want to do. I mean, what we need to do, and we're gonna keep doing that shit. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I will say though, that's probably the best question that any guest that we've had on here has probably asked us.
Appreciate that. I guess my next question, I feel like all this stuff really applies to me, because like trying to find myself is kind of like the same thing with y'all, like trying to be the best version of this podcast. Yeah, it's almost like I'm trying to be the best version of myself. Yeah. So like, I guess my next question is like, what is the hardest thing about it?
The podcast?
Yeah, because it's definitely a challenge. Like, it's not something that's easy.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'd say the hardest thing about it is just staying consistent with it, right? And making time for it. Yeah, because it's like shout out to Max. We just had him on. The episode just dropped, and he sent us like a group chat we have, like Stony Mountain. I'm in there with it. We have a little conversation or something. But he sent the group. He's like, up to 200 views. I told y'all, I got y'all, and props to that. Like, shout out to that. But it's like my mindset is like, I'm like 2 episodes thinking ahead now. It's like I can't even look at that one anymore. It's like I'm shooting one with Kobe. Right. Like tomorrow I gotta edit that. It's like it always is. It's always like a nonstop. Like as soon as this one is shot and edited, it's like this one is shot. It'll probably be edited tomorrow, and then it's like now we gotta worry about shooting one with MJ 3 days later. You gotta figure that one out. It's like it's always a nonstop, consistent applying pressure to it, and you can't like fall behind on it.
Yeah, and I think that like it's not even a fact that it's like hard to do it. Like Eli said, it's really about being consistent with it, because like he said, we'll record this, we'll edit this video, we'll get it, chopped up clean, and we'll get ready to have it, good to go and post it, and then it's like, now we're on to the next one. But it's easy to just be like, okay, we just got a video uploaded. We don't need to edit one or record one for another week, because we can just go off that. But we're trying to be, consistent and push it out. Right. Because the thing about this podcast is we don't really look at it as like, oh, it's not like going to work. Yeah, it's not
for sure.
It's not like even today we're doing this. It's Saturday, right? July 16th, Saturday, July 16th at about 11:30 or whatever. Like, we've been at work all this past, all week. This is our first off day throughout the week, and I didn't look at it as like, damn, I got to wake up and do a podcast with Kobe. Yeah, because we get enjoyment from it, and even when we put in the work with the videos, like when we have to edit them, or if we have to post on social media, what we have to, create to post, like we don't look at it as like it's like an annoyance, right? It's more of like, we just got to make sure we get that work done, in our free time, in the spare time. As long as we're putting in the work to get it done, then like it's good. But like we sit here literally every time we do a podcast, like as soon as we get done, like, we're cool, we're chilling, and even like I'll say this, there's been times where we'll go like 2 to 3 weeks without recording, and literally like we'll get to the point where like we're trying to figure out when we're gonna record our next episode, because like we be wanting to do it. It'd be a good time to get together and to record an episode, instead of like be like, oh no, I don't really feel like doing one, so fuck it, I'm not gonna pull up or some shit. Like we'd be ready to get together and do it,
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what you said, I think we're so blessed to just have the 4 of us, because we all like it's not like like everyone pulls their own weight, and it's like everyone shows up, everyone does everyone's applying pressure. We don't have like one person that's like, I can't make it, and they're just like bullshitting and like only giving 50%. Right. It's like everyone's all in. Everyone puts money up whenever there's something to get. Everyone's like in the group like the day of the podcast while we're all at work, saying everyone drop topics off the top of your head. People just send in random things. It's like we're all on the same page, and that makes it a lot easier when you have everyone on the same page. Everyone knows exactly what we want out of this, and we're all striving to get it equally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's one of the things that like brought me to do this podcast is because like, you know, I'm not really like, believe it or not, like one that loves to speak in front of like a public audience type beat.
Yeah.
But I think it goes like knowing MILIO, that's really what made me do it in a sense. Like knowing that you fuck with me the long way, like from we first met, is what brought me to do it. Like come support you in a sense.
Yeah. And you know, it's like when from the first time I hit you up about, you know, getting you on here, like we definitely, as far as when it comes to getting a guest on the podcast, like anybody that I hit up, I try to be like real, like clear and concise and like kind of like approach it in like a professional manner almost, you know, like I'll hit you up, you know, with exact details, you know, try to figure out how to work, you know, on your timing because you're pulling up to like you said, to come support us and come do it. And also like, you know, we've known each other for shit, I don't even know.
A couple of years, and we met on the game, right?
Yeah, we met. we literally met through a mutual friend.
So
shout out Zai.
We met through Mook.
Yeah, shout out Mook. You know, Mook Morel. Check him out on YouTube. You know, we're gonna have him on here soon. But you know, we met through him literally playing a game, and then you know, obviously I've known Zai since I was in elementary school.
Yeah,
Kobe, you've known Zai for at least since what, like freshman year?
Yeah, about freshman sophomore year.
Yeah, freshman sophomore year. So it's like we, you know, through a mutual friend that we both were, you know, fuck with, we literally met up, you know, started playing the game together, then just started hanging out in person. And ever since then, you know, we've been like, I consider Kobe one of like my really good friends. Even though I haven't known him for 10 years, you know, we've talked and communicated and have been in touch with each other, you know, like consistently since, you know, we first met.
Yeah.
So it's like that's I say that's another reason why I kind of wanted you to even come on here, not only because, you know, you have a very good knowledge about clothing and fashion and stuff, but also because I just know like the type of person you are off rip, you know,
right?
Like I kind of know, like, yeah, I know that you have a mindset that's about, you know, like you said earlier, how, you know, you're trying to kind of, you want to, you know, get the best version of yourself, you know, like,
fuck with that. Yeah,
you know, I know that's the type of mindset you have. So I know, you know, that's like, definitely will want you on here to, you know, speak and, you know, drop some knowledge and just get on the platform. And I think that's kind of what we're about, you know.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Like you said, like, you know, you reached out to him, you try to be like professional and everything. And doesn't the podcast make you like I said, it's like, it's always something. It's like, you always got to figure out something with this. We're always figuring out something to make it better, or, you know, it's almost like a business plan. Yeah. Doesn't it make you feel like a businessman? A little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, cause like, listen,
definitely, yeah, cause I be feeling like that when I'm working on it.
This is not no business, man. This is not no business, man.
Listen, it's kind of different with Kobe though.
I said he called me cheesing. Cheesing on the phone.
Listen,
what you doing, bro?
like Kobe, he kind of, you know, he kind of different just because of like, cause listen, Eli, one thing about this dude right here, he is literally like, he's one of the funniest people I know, and it's not even on no like Kevin Hart type funny. He's like on like Demon Time type funny.
That's not me, bro.
Listen, so like stuff I can't even get into on the podcast just because he be on Demon Time. So it's like hitting him up, like I could FaceTime Kobe, right? And it's like if he picks up the phone, I'm gonna start smiling and start laughing just because it's like I just can't take I can't be serious around him because of how funny this nigga is.
It's crazy, bro. When he called me like the final time that set up the podcast, I was on a canoe on a vacation. I was canoeing with my girl, looking at alligators and shit. And I see MILIO calling me.
Bro, this nigga pick up the phone. He's like, "What's up, gang?" I'm looking and I'm like, nigga, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? He flipped the camera. He canoeing. And it looked like you was like, looked like you was in a swamp. I'm not.
I was in the swamp.
Yeah, he canoeing in the swamp. I'm like, damn, like you got time to talk? He's like, yeah. And then we literally.
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny. But Kobe, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You said obviously you're passionate about clothes, fashion, and that stuff. Have you ever thought of making your own brand, or is that something you have thought about and you're just like, nah, I want to keep it a hobby, like keep it right there? 'Cause, you know, I'm sure that's something you've probably thought about.
Definitely. I've definitely thought about like making my own brand, but I think a lot goes into making a brand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to the homies that's making a brand like that y'all know.
Yeah, Stony
Stony
Mountain. Shout out
Mountain, hell
Stony
yeah.
Mountain.
But I definitely think it's hard to make a brand because it's a lot more than slapping your logo onto a t-shirt or whatnot. Like it's hard to build up a name when it comes to a brand, and it's hard to really network, find quality like fabric that you want to use in your pieces. And I think the hardest part is having that creative mindset to make something different that people don't already see.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times with people's brand, you slap a logo on a tee. You could go into PacSun, find a t-shirt with the logo on it. Only thing different is just a logo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's the hardest thing. I've definitely thought about it. I don't think I'm capable of making a brand only because like it's hard to think of things that people haven't made. Like when it comes to pants, like there's so many variations of pants. What can you do different with pants?
Yeah, that's yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing different between brands is quality.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny you say that though. This is one thing I would say to that. Like, it's like, you know, you said that, but then you go and look at somebody like the dude who made denim tears. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
Who would have thought of that?
yeah, exactly. Like, Eli, have you ever seen a pair of denim tear pants?
I haven't.
It's like, it's literally like, you know, pants, and like the design that he has on them, his most, you know, popular ones is like literally kind of like a circle, like
It's supposed to be like a cotton flower type
like kind of like a cotton flower, and you see them and
it's on
like,
a pair of jeans, just regular blue jeans, and just cotton flower, and
Yeah.
it blew up.
yeah,
For real?
yeah, but it's like, you know, the fact that he came up with that design, like that's not a design that you've ever really seen before. And then once those got popular, you start seeing other brands kind of
like mimic it.
mimic it, you know, copy it. So it's like I see where you're
You know what
coming
I'm saying?
from.
Like I just don't think I'm capable enough to find or think of something that nobody has ever done.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, shout out to the Stony Mountain boys. The stuff that they're doing is really like is really crazy, you know, because they're coming out with designs that are like, you know, I won't say that they're designs that's like mind blowing to the point where it's like I've never seen this anywhere at all, but at the same time it's like they're coming out with designs that's like I really haven't seen this before, you know?
Yeah.
Like there you can tell
Stony the Bear.
Yeah,
That's just
like-
fire.
yeah,
that's
like
hard.
like Stony the Bear, you know, like that, you know, I kind of get inspiration from that from like Smokey the Bear, you know, but at the same
Yeah.
time it's like it's not just a clear carbon cut and copy, you know, from like Smokey the Bear to Stony the Bear. It's like
Right.
Like they added that quote, "Who said I don't burn trees?" Like,
yeah, like
Oh,
they
that's
guess,
hard.
yeah, they
Also,
got
that's hard.
Yeah.
you know, got their whole own little twist to it, and it's just like it's just so dope to see,
It is.
you know.
But bro, I'll say I think you're underselling yourself. Honestly,
Oh
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
think you're
too.
undermining yourself because just how you answered that question, it's almost like you know every single thing to do it. It's just a matter of fact of whether you would want to do that.
Right. See, I think when it comes to the whole fashion side, I would rather be a stylist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I would rather source product for like a famous athlete or something like that and put them in a fit
yeah,
versus trying to make something that they would wear. Like,
yeah,
Okay.
that's something where I would rather go to. Like, I know people like that knock Kuzma like for his fits. You know, he has some wild shit.
yeah.
But
Fuck with those.
But look. I know, not personally, but I know somebody that knows the stylist personally.
Mm-hmm.
And
For Kuzma.
for Kuzma,
Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma. I know the stylist, one of the flyest people I've ever seen. And it was crazy. He styled. I know y'all know that that viral pic of him in that pink sweater.
Yeah.
he styled that shit. And no, do I think it was a good fit? No, that shit was ass. But I talked to the homie that knew the stylist, and it was kind of like we want to make the world talk.
Word.
Yeah.
And that was really
It
the
definitely
mindset.
did.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be easy to do as a stylist, to like put something on so crazy that people notice, and that's why I respect Westbrook's fits. Them shits are ass.
But you know, he's trying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's more like they get that respect because they're wearing what they want to wear.
Yeah.
The shit could be trash, but if that's what they want to wear, that's what they want to, you know.
Yeah.
They put it on and they like it, then you know the one of the biggest, you know, sayings and like, or me personally that I see a lot in like the streetwear community, you know, fashion community is like, you know, wear what you want to wear.
Wear what you like. Yeah.
You know, wear what you like. You know, it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying.
Mhm.
If you feel comfortable in it and you think it's a good outfit,
Put that shit on.
yeah, literally,
Yeah.
you know.
So, who would you say is the best dressed athlete and rapper?
Best dressed athlete, I would honestly say, is Jordan Clarkson.
I've
Jordan
heard that
Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson.
before.
Let me tell
What
you
about
why.
Shy?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's Jordan. Jordan is versatile. He can put on
I
like
really haven't seen his fits.
see.
Yeah, that's why you got to go check it out.
He puts on like stuff that he relates to the people, like how Shy does. Shy, all of his fits people can wear. Like the average person,
Yeah.
they can wear some type of variation. It might just be like
Might not be as expensive.
it might not be
Yeah.
as expensive, but you
Yeah,
can
pieces.
put that same shit on. But Jordan, he'll wear the runway shit. He'll also wear fits like Shy.
Yeah.
And another one that slept on is Frank Jackson.
Who is that?
He plays for the Pelicans.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, I've never heard. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look
he
him up.
I think I want to say he played for Duke. Aren't you a Duke fan?
He's not no Duke
He's
fan,
not no
bro.
Duke fan.
He's not a Duke
he's not
fan,
a Duke
bro.
fan. He just be talking.
He just picked them because they might have won a championship that
that's
year.
what I'm
That's all
saying.
that is.
But yeah, Shy, he's definitely top three in the league dress because people can relate to what he's wearing, just not on the price level. But nah, he's.
So you say
definitely fire.
football players be dressing?
See, football's different.
Yeah, honestly,
Honestly, I only see football players in like just some like graphic tees.
You don't really
like
dog, you barely even see football players' fits.
yeah, like you better
Yeah.
like because they get off the bus and go straight into the.
That's
not
what
gonna
I'm
lie.
saying.
When they were on Joe Burrow's dick during the postseason, he pulled up in that coat.
Dog, I remember that.
You didn't fuck with that?
It was hard. It was hard. It was
coat
definitely
was
hard.
hard,
The
but-
coat was hard.
But it's just like it was just his. He just ran a little too far with his whole
He did.
Yeah. That-
Joe Icy or
that Joe Shiesty.
Yeah, Joe Shiesty
Yeah.
and Bird shit. Yeah. Now,
Best dressed rapper though.
yeah.
I think it's a couple. You got between Lil Yachty,
Because I say, who's your top ones then?
Lil Yachty. I don't know. Y'all know Smino?
Yeah.
Smino got some really good fits.
I've never really seen.
I
his
don't even
fits,
listen
though.
to his music.
Yeah,
I don't.
I just know who he is
I can
as an
name a single
artist.
song, but ASAP Rocky too.
Oh yeah.
ASAP Rocky, he just like Jordan Clarkson to me. He'll wear the streetwear shit, but he'll wear that runway stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think slept on answer, y'all. Gunna.
Gunna be putting that shit on.
Gunna be putting that shit on.
Shit on,
Nah,
bruh.
yeah, Gunna, yeah.
Like
Yeah, he
his
yeah.
fits
Shit on.
are wild. Like y'all remember when Rihanna remade his
Yup.
fit?
Yeah,
Yo,
his
that's when I
Rick fit.
when I saw Rihanna do that, I was like, yeah, Gunna's got it.
Exactly.
He's got it.
Yeah, I definitely like. I've always said that Yachty is like
Yeah.
one of the best dressed solely because he's almost like Shy to
Yeah.
the point where Yachty wears a lot of stuff that like it's not like it's obtainable. You know,
Mhm.
you can
Yeah.
if you have $600 to spend on a shirt. You know, if you got a band to spend on some pants or something, $400 to spend on some pants, like. You know, you can put on what he's putting on.
100%.
But at the same time, like he wears it and you can tell he's not wearing none of the clothes he wears and it's like he got paid to do it or, you know,
Yeah.
something, or he's putting it on because of what his name is, you know, like somebody I would say who does that is like Offset.
Yeah.
Like Offset be wearing so much Rick Owens and
Mhm.
like he wears like so much black leather clothing, Alexander Wang, like, you know, he
Mhm.
wears like, you know, all brands like that. You can just tell like he's putting it on because like he started wearing it and people started talking about him wearing it and now that's why he's wearing it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, you know, I think I definitely have Yachty up there. I think Yachty and ASAP Rocky is like definitely, if you could take Yachty out. If you say ASAP Rocky should be on everybody's like
Yeah, like he has
top
a
three.
grip on the culture.
Yeah.
Like
like
in the chokehold.
And
No.
I think one of the things that people don't give enough credit to is Ye.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Kanye, he's to the level now where he's like,
He's so influential. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like he doesn't even need to like. I don't even know how to explain it, but I mean, Kanye just like he doesn't need to really try to put anything on. He wears literally like I ain't gonna lie though, them Balenciaga
Croc
rain
boots.
boots.
Them shits are so ass. But what's crazy, people were wearing the fuck out.
They
of it.
were.
Yeah, I know y'all remember that picture of Lil Baby with the lime green ones on.
Bro.
I seen that. I was like, bro, who told this nigga to put that
He
on?
seen Ye do it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
He's like, what Kanye have on? Give me that shit.
And that's what everybody does, realistically.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, somebody else who you might not fuck with this answer, Kobe. And I don't really think like I'm not gonna put him like as best dressed, but I think his style, Travis Scott.
No.
See, but hear me out.
God.
Hear me out what I'm about to say about him though.
He's relatable to the people.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I can respect
Travis
that.
has some.
That's what I was gonna
everything
say.
I see that like Travis on, like you said, obviously it's like some stuff you probably can't buy because you just can't. It's too expensive. But it's like I look at it in a way like I could put some shit like that.
Definitely.
On.
Yeah,
Literally.
that's what I'm gonna say. Travis has a style that like people look at it and like he's literally, I will say he's like the staple, like the biggest person to wear like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he starts wearing something, then like you're definitely gonna start seeing people wear that.
Definitely.
Like, you know, graphic tees and shorts and dunks. That's something Travis Scott is gonna wear. Baggy jeans with a graphic tee and some Travis Scott shoes. You know, you're gonna see multiple people wearing that.
Right.
And you're gonna go on Instagram, you'll see him wearing. Like he's a staple for that shit. Now, you can get into more artists who start wearing like certain artists just get to the point where they're just wearing shit that I'm like, nah, I just don't fuck with.
It's like
who?
Like Cardi. Like, bro, Cardi be wearing. All right,
what do you think about Thug? You said Thug's your favorite rapper.
Thug-
You mentioned that off camera.
Thug is like he dressed like every Atlanta rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
He'll wear some expensive shit, like expensive chains, but it's not like everybody in Atlanta would think that shit's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Worldwide.
He's really like putting shit on. Like it's not like it's stylish. So that's why Atlanta's like a different type of environment. Like if y'all, I don't know if y'all have ever actually like been to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like the way they dress and stuff like that. Like they like to be flashy, stuff like that. Like they'll wear some outlandish shit, but it's not like really fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but then you also get like the hood Atlanta niggas that wear like the extra small white tee and skinny ass jeans with the fucking
triple platform Balenciagas.
Yeah, like that. You know, you also got that style out there. I mean,
And they think that shit is hard.
yeah,
But that's what I'm saying is different environments appreciate different things.
yeah. I look at the way artists, these rappers dress. I look at it almost like their music in the terms of like, I could not fuck with how a certain artist dresses, but at the same time, he might put a fit on that I think is clean for the time being.
Right.
Or, he might have something on that, okay, yeah, that shit fits him. That shit's hard. Like, let's go with like Yeet. Like, bro, Yeet don't really be putting nothing on.
Yeet don't wear shit but a ski mask.
He don't wear shit but a ski mask and some black clothing and some Balenciaga.
Yup.
But at the same time, it's like you see him in a music video and it's like,
Damn, that's him.
Yeah, he got a fit on. It's just like I'm not gonna be like he's not on Yachty level where I look at his fit and I'm like, damn, let me see what he's actually wearing, like what pieces or what But like he got a ski mask on. I seen his one fit, like he had a ski mask on. This like black like bubble coat, tight black.
I saw that
Yeah,
shit too.
I seen
Yeah.
that shit.
The Balenciagas with the tire tread on the bottom, like
like you said, nothing. Like I don't look at that and like you said Yachty or something. And look at that and be like, what does he actually have? I'm just like, oh yeah, that's just what he wears.
yeah.
One y'all don't fuck with Uzi.
I mean,
Uzi's different.
I would say Uzi. He puts shit on, but it's stuff that only he can put on.
Yeah.
Cause like he'll do it. He'll do it. He won't just put a fit on. Like if he puts a certain fit on, he might change his whole fucking hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh,
Like
that's
for that
just
fit.
Uzi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you put that fit on anybody else, that is ass.
Yeah.
Like I just seen a video of him performing. Like the nigga was wearing like bro, it looked like he had on like a school uniform, like a green and pink school uniform. But it's like is Uzi.
Yeah, then his hair is like has like triangles.
Spiked out.
Yeah, I mean, Uzi is very like.
It's okay he's weird.
Yeah, he's weird, and I think one thing I'll say about Uzi is like obviously he doesn't give a fuck about
At all.
what anybody says that he wears, but at the same time, like certain shit, like if he makes it known what he's wearing, like people are gonna notice it. Like Balenciaga, like he's been huge on Balenciaga, and
he wears a lot of Dior.
Yeah, and Eli, I don't know if you really notice it, but like literally rappers everywhere are wearing, like everybody's wearing Balenciaga. That's been what's going on the past few months. That's what's been hot.
And
like,
a big influence has to be Ye. He did a collab with Balenciaga.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I know I started really notice it when Baby put it on. Yeah. And then after that, it just kept going.
Like I just seen a video. It was like, one of those videos were like, what you got on, whatever he's recording. It was Takeoff. Nigga had like some Rick Owen gloves on.
Yeah.
He had a ski mask, but then like he got like a Balenci jacket on, a Balenci shirt on, and then like Balenci wristband or something like that. Like all this Balenciaga on. Like, bro, it's funny because niggas like when Uzi dropped his album 2 years ago, he had his one song where he said like Balenci like 10 times.
Balenci.
Like, it's crazy because it's like, nigga, he's rapping about that 2 years ago. Obviously, niggas was wearing that 2 years ago, but like now it's getting hot for real. Everybody's wanting to wear it.
That's facts. I didn't even like realize that. Like you said, Uzi was saying that years ago.
It's just like, Rick Owens has had his very big phase, and now it's just to the point where it's like
everybody's wearing that shit.
Yeah, everybody's wearing Rick Owens now, but it's like, I give it about 3 years ago max where like shit really started getting into the rap game.
Yeah.
And then like I'd give it last year, I'd say 2021, some of this year, and 2020, those in between that time frame when like everybody started getting to the point where like you're seeing every single rapper got Rick Owens on. Yeah. And you start seeing the rappers who don't even really know about that shit start putting that shit on.
Yeah.
I like Gunna. I feel like Gunna, do you feel like he like not set the wave, but like almost like with Prada, like Gunna was always wearing that shit.
Yeah, Gunna
years ago.
Yeah, he's been wearing Prada for a minute. Gunna has been wearing he wears a lot of shit that like he just puts it on.
Yeah, when he turned that duck into a Louis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cardi though. Shout out to Cardi for the Rick Owens.
Yeah, I'm about to say Cardi really did his thing with Rick Owens. Like
honestly.
It fits him though. It fits his music, everything.
Listen, I give Cardi, I contribute Rick Owens and the wax black leather denim. I give both of those to Cardi because like he's been wearing that even before he started turning like weird as fuck type shit.
Emo.
Like he was wearing that shit before that. Like when he dropped Die Lit, when he dropped 2018, 2017, he's wearing that shit. Like so. Yeah, I attribute that to Cardi. Shout out him. But now, like, he wears, like, I don't know, man. I seen that.
I think he's still wearing Rick. It's just like.
Now he really wearing
Rick. It's like Rick all the head to toe.
Yeah, like, and this is the thing, Eli. Like, Eli, I know you definitely know about, the Rick Owens shoes. But, like, you got a few other things that Rick Owens, like, you got, like, the Rick Owens cargo pants. Those are dope.
Yeah, those are fine.
Got them right now.
Literally, you got the Rick Owens handbag. Little, tote bag, the gray one, that's kind of fire. But then, like
when you get to the tops,
that's like once
that's where it's different. That's where it's different.
Yeah, once you get to see, you start seeing like the little shit. Like if you see Cardi, like Cardi might be wearing some weird ass shit. Where what's those tops that are like
see through?
Yeah, like see through. Like that's designer. That's what's crazy about it. That top is a designer top, but it's like that shit looks, looks like it's for a female.
Yeah.
It's just not fire, but it's like, this designer. Shit is expensive.
And that's the type of shit that you see on like the Rick Owens models on the runway. You see that shit. Yeah. But it's like, only ones putting that on is people like Cardi.
Yeah. Like he, in the rap game, he's the only type of people. And then that's who's putting that on, So it's like I don't really fuck with that shit. I'm sorry,
I can't get down with it.
It blows my mind. Like, have y'all seen like I saw one video on TikTok. It's like, was it Mark Zuckerberg? Is that how you say his last name?
The owner of Facebook?
Yeah,
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, however you say it. Like they were like, y'all would look at his fit and just think it's something because it was literally just like a black shirt, jeans, and something and sunglasses. But like the black shirt was like $1,200.
Yeah.
The jeans were like, I think the jeans were like 2,000 or something. Shades were like 800. It's like they wear different shit. You get to a certain level, you just buy different shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get to that level, you're literally just wearing like they're buying shit. They might buy a regular ass shirt that's $800, $1,200, but they're buying it because like it's comfortable and they like it, and that's it. You know, I guarantee you, like a nigga like Mark Zuckerberg, if a regular black Hanes tee, if that shit was $1,000,
He'd buy it.
yeah, he'd buy it.
Yeah.
You know, he'd literally buy it, but he's not gonna go and buy a $20 Hanes six pack of Hanes shirt just because of what it is.
Literally.
You know, them niggas, they're not gonna wear the big high name like fashion brands, but they still are. It's just it's not what's you know.
You just don't know about it. Yeah.
It's just not what's popular in the media.
Yeah.
You know, the niggas in the media are wearing what they're getting paid to wear.
Yeah.
You know, so
A lot of times when you're wearing that like high quality like stuff that's like plain, you are paying for the quality. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the big differences. Like where something could be manufactured in like Italy versus like China. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference, but sometimes it's not. Like there's not that much difference in the quality of stuff. But and speaking on like people putting that shit on, I feel like we don't give Soulja Boy enough credit.
oh yeah, no, Soulja Boy deserves a lot of credit.
You know, when he said, "I got me some bathing ape,"
He said that in 2008.
that's what I'm saying.
Like he said that in 2008. You know, and then shit. Another nigga that we also forgot, Pharrell.
Yeah.
Pharrell is definitely.
I mean, but people know for real. Like he's on the same category as Ye.
Yeah. He's on Ye level. I mean, who else, man? I mean, hey, Wayne was big on the Bapes too.
Wayne, definitely.
Yup.
Truck fit. He had
Truck
people
fit.
wearing truck fit.
Yeah, he had. That
Yeah, me
whole-
in third grade wanted truck fit.
That's what I'm saying. Shit was expensive.
yeah, taxing for it, man, and then you
Making
know,
people want to skate.
Yeah, I bought a skateboard.
Didn't do no tricks.
Nothing.
Oh, God.
Hey, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I never even learned how to jump the bitch. I had this hill. I just take it to the
just
top
ride
and
it.
just roll down.
You used to stand on it or you just sitting on it. Roll.
Stand. I learned how to stand. But yeah, Wayne for sure.
And you know, it's crazy because if you look back in the day, like, and even like you know the brands like Rick Owens has been a brand for a long time.
Long time. It really just took off in these past few years. Like people were wearing it, but now it's like
Yeah, now it's become,
everywhere.
Yeah, and you know it's funny, man. It's you know we're talking about fashion. I was literally on Instagram and just a random reel popped up. Right, I clicked on it because I seen some shoes, and it was literally how it was this like smaller page, and like it showed a shoe they dropped. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just a shoe they dropped for like 100, 120 or whatever. They were okay. They were pretty dope. They kind of look like some New Balances, but like kind of had that style, like the kind of frame of that, right? But then they showed a picture of like those old school Adidas with the real fat laces, real fat white laces, and they had said like you know the hip hop community like back in the
Shell
back
toes?
in the
You talking about
day.
the shell toes?
I mean, I guess they were shell toes. It was like the picture was like half of the shoe.
Oh,
But they were shell toes, but they were like the fat laces,
Yeah,
real
yeah,
thick
yeah.
laces. And then, you know, it was like how hip hop community, you know, made these popular or whatever.
definitely.
And then it went to like a next picture and it was I don't remember what the brand was, but it was literally like, it kind of looked like the design was the shoe, the company, the small time company that the shoe had made. It was their shoe with the Adidas fat laces. Pretty much those two styles put together, selling it for like $900.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Like it's crazy. Like you know, Rick Owens. Like, bro, the Rick Owens.
Really just a Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, that's literally what they are with just a fat toe box.
Yeah.
That's literally all the Rick Owens are. Now, if you start getting into like their like some of their other shoes, like
the
their
ones with like
Geostorm,
heels and
yeah, and
that's different.
Yeah.
That's
Those are different. But you know, like
The Ramones that everybody's
Yeah,
wearing.
the
It's just
Ramones.
really just Chucks.
those are the ones everybody wear, and they're Chucks. And then like I was I don't remember what store was that. We was in Denver. No, we was in Boulder, Colorado. We was in this clothing store. And Kobe, you might know what brand I'm talking about. I can't remember the brand, but they literally just take shoes. Like literally will take like a pair of fours and make them, but they make them in a specific material, and like there's no name brand on or anything, and then like they sell them as their shoe, and it's like crazy fucking expensive.
No, I don't know about
I don't
this.
remember the brand. I don't remember the brand, but like they had like a pair of fours. They had like some Chuck Taylors. Like it was a bunch of. We was in a clothing store, like a really like expensive resale clothing store. They had like
Yeah.
Marnie had a lot of capital stuff in there, but I'm not too sure. You know, I don't really know.
But yeah, it's been a good episode.
Yeah, it's been a very dope episode. Dropped some gems, you know, got into some good talks about clothing, fashion. You know.
Hell yeah, definitely appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Good convo. Probably be
yeah.
on here again.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have you on here again. Definitely gotta get you on here when Tyler is on here, because I feel like,
Yo.
especially when you were talking about like the way you feel towards making clothes. I definitely know he could give a lot better insight than me,
Right.
Eli did, because he probably felt like that before, you know. And
Yeah.
now he has a clothing brand. But yeah, definitely gonna be back on here. You know, thank you again for pulling up. You know,
Always,
sir.
you know, I'm gonna support the homies regardless. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what they doing.
oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, and yeah, man. You know, 1% better. We definitely didn't say that, but definitely, I don't know if you ever heard us say that, but 1% better. Shout out to Eli, shout out to Tyler. You know, they kind of came up with that.
That shit's hard.
You know, literally just every day. You know, we're gonna get 1% better. You know, but yeah, anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man, y'all tap in. Whether it's this episode, first episode, it don't matter. I'm about to say these dudes really made it feel like just a group chat conversation in a sense. Like we really just talking, not really forcing anything upon nobody. Just giving our knowledge based on what we know.
Literally.
Hell yeah, and we out.